Lightweight contender Islam Makhachev has called Charles Olivera's latest call-out embarrassing. He thinks that trying to get Conor McGregor back in the ring is just a money grab and doesn't help his reputation. So, what does Oliveira have to say now that he's been matched up with Makhachev? Plus, why doesn't Dana White think Khabib is the greatest of all time? Stay tuned to find out all of that and more MMA news coming right up. First up, an old Irishman. MMA fans might be wondering why Conor McGregor is still given credit in the UFC. He hasn't won a fight in more than 2 years, and his last championship-winning fight was almost 6 years ago. That's why Islam Makhachev has called Charles Olivera embarrassing for calling the Irishman out for a fight. After his win against Justin Gaethje at UFC 274, Oliveira called on Conor McGregor for a championship shot. Now, it's no surprise that he is targeting McGregor. Out of the 5 biggest pay-per-view events in UFC history, all 5 of them featured Conor McGregor. The man is a huge draw for audiences all around the world, no matter where he's fighting. And if it weren't for this superstar status, then he probably wouldn't be offered a shot at the title. But for Islam Makhachev, calling out McGregor just shows how weak Oliveira is. He said, "It's embarrassing when the UFC lightweight champion asks for someone like Conor McGregor." The Russian went on to warn Oliveira that his 8th loss in the UFC would come when the two eventually faced. Unfortunately for Oliveira, he'll have to face his demons at UFC 280. It's been announced that Oliveira will defend his title against Makhachev in Abu Dhabi in October. That's the headline event. But even the undercard bout between Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw will make it one of the most exciting MMA events this year. Next, we have Chasing Cash. If you thought that Makhachev was just talking trash about Oliveira ducking the fight, then listen to this. Oliveira has actually admitted that he didn't want the matchup. On the Brazilian YouTube channel PVT, he revealed that he was instead looking for a money fight. He said that he wanted the big payment fight, which probably refers to Conor McGregor. Oliveira and his team also tried to negotiate the venue for his clash with Makhachev. He preferred a neutral ground of New York, but Dana White decided that Abu Dhabi would be better for business. Makhachev is thought to have the home crowd advantage since he has more fans in the Middle East. But Oliveira has said that he is not fazed by that and that the cage is the same anywhere in the world. The Brazilian also wants to bring his championship back to his home crowd soon, but that could be some way down the road. The last time he fought there was in 2020 when he fought Kevin Lee, but he has never defended a title there. 2 years later, he has now cemented himself as one of the best lightweights in history. And now, under pressure. The secret to being a great fighter is being cool, calm, and collected. People like George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva always had nerves of steel inside the octagon. In fact, Silva may have been a little too calm. Could Charles Olivera finally be feeling the pressure that comes with being champion? He has won his last 11 fights to have one of the greatest career comebacks in MMA history. But Khabib Nurmagomedov thinks that his upcoming fight against Islam Makhachev may be a little more competition than he is used to. Khabib knows a thing or two about the lightweight division, considering he defended the belt 3 times to finish an undefeated career with 13 victories in the UFC. But he may be a little biased. Makhachev is his childhood friend and also helps to coach him. Oliveira had a stern warning for Makhachev and his team ahead of UFC 280. In an interview on the MMA Hoje podcast, he said, "I'm coming to your house, my friend, to fight you. You're talking a lot of I've always respected all of you." In response, Khabib said that they never insulted or undermined Oliveira. In fact, Khabib respects the Brazilian champion, and that's why he and Makhachev are coming prepared. Their plan is to finish the fight early, but Khabib said that it's not arrogance, it's just strategy. "We don't know about you, but we're hoping that the fight goes for as long as possible." Up next, why doesn't Dana White consider Khabib the greatest lightweight in the UFC? And which former champion has first-hand evidence of why Oliveira will lose? So don't go anywhere. GOAT. The endless debate about who the greatest of all time is. In every sport, it never ends, and the UFC is no exception. It might be hard to choose, but Dana White has a pretty surprising opinion about Khabib's place in MMA history. First off, Dana accepts that Khabib was one of the best of all time. He's just not sure if he was the best. In an interview with GQ, he said that Khabib retired too early to be considered the greatest. Dana thinks that the Dagestani champion left in his prime and didn't stick around to really test himself. And former lightweight champion Anthony Pettis agrees. Pettis pointed out that Khabib won the title against Al Iaquinta, who was unranked and only defended the title 3 times. Dana White has revealed that he has tried many times to lure Khabib out of retirement with no success. Khabib promised his mother that he would stop fighting, and he has stuck to his word. Now that's a good son. Baddie. Paddy Pimblett's personality has helped to launch him onto center stage of the UFC. The fighter from Liverpool has never been known to hold back on his opinions, and he thinks that he knows exactly how the Oliveira and Makhachev fight will pan out. In Paddy's opinion, Charles Olivera will walk away with the belt. He thinks that the recent champion has too many tools in his arsenal and that Islam isn't ready for what's coming. And not just that, Paddy the Baddie thinks that Oliveira has had much tougher opponents in the past. Oliveira's recent record is similar to Khabib's. He has taken out all of the top contenders, including Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler, and Tony Ferguson. So it's true, he does have a lot of experience. Meanwhile, Makhachev's last 2 opponents were ranked 39 and 13 in the division. These were not easy fights, but they weren't on the same level as the top 5 guys. This kind of experience is what Paddy thinks separates the contenders from the champions. Ground game. Charles Olivera holds the record for the most finishes, the most submissions, and the most Performance of the Night awards in the UFC. He has earned himself an impressive resume, and a lot of it has come through creative submissions. But if the fight at UFC 280 goes to the ground, it's anyone's guess who will come out on top. Luke Rockhold thinks that Oliveira's BJJ is no match for the strength that fighters like Islam Makhachev and Khabib Nurmagomedov have built. The former middleweight champion described Makhachev as the bigger and stronger man. He also thinks that if they start wrestling on the ground, it will be a different world from what Oliveira is used to. Rockhold might sound like just another talking head, but he has some experience to back up his opinion. He has said that he's trained with every lightweight in the world and still thinks that Khabib and Islam are unique. He said, "There's a different strength. When they get on top, it's over." Both Oliveira and Makhachev are great strikers too, so wherever the fight ends up, it should be entertaining. And finally, the comeback kid. But don't count out Charles Olivera just yet. His best strength may be that he never gives up. In his last fight against Justin Gaethje, he proved it. In the very first round, Oliveira was knocked down twice, but managed to recover and eventually win. He took the time to break down the fight and talk about exactly what was going through his head. The Brazilian said that he felt it was more comfortable to sit down after getting hit. But after the second one, he reminded himself that he just needed to breathe. This was all still in the first round. Oliveira dared Gaethje to come to the ground, but he wasn't falling into that trap. Then after another 2 minutes of trading blows, Oliveira landed a right hand that dropped Gaethje on his back. And from there, it was only a matter of time before the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt finished the fight. It was one of Oliveira's best wins of his career, and when he was announced as the winner, even Justin Gaethje was applauding. If you are going to compete with the best, then you should probably respect the best too. Do you think that Oliveira has what it takes to overcome Makhachev, or will Khabib's training be too much? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one.